Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I have been thinking about Love is Blind since I filmed my first video. I cannot stop thinking about this season. I cried, I was suspicious, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but let's just get into it, you know? Let's just do it.
Typical type when it comes to men, like they're all hot.
Yeah, I'm huge on communication and emotional intelligence.
Me too.
You have to talk about how you're feeling.
I technically hold the title of being a cheater.
Okay, mini crisis averted. My cat just scratched the fuck out of my face, so I had to wash it and stuff. But I'm really appreciating this conversation that they're having. I appreciate that this guy is being open about his past with being a cheater and being cheated on. I think, especially the older you get in life, very important to recognize that growth is possible and we should be striving for growth. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 18. When I'm 38, I'm not going to be the same age as I'm not going to be the same as when I'm 28. We shouldn't be held to the mistakes that we made when we were a teenager, especially in relationships. Relationships are hard. Obviously there's like mistakes that you should be held accountable for, but for the rest of your life. He got in therapy, he grew, and I really appreciate him like being open about that. I think that's really good. And I appreciate that she is not like immediately turning on him because of it.
I'm not at all mad at you, like you're really honest with me.
Honestly, I think in the real world, they're one of the only couples that could actually work because she's used to dating rock stars, basketball players, whatever, and he's rich, comes from money, like is in that world with her. So, as much as the other woman likes him, I just don't think.
The L word is something that's like so sacred and scary for me, but like I'm falling for you so fucking hard. I really don't know what to say, Britt.
I'm really confused by this conversation, and I can't tell if it's the editing or if this is actually how the conversation went, but he's like basically saying, I'm in love with you. And she was just like, well, good. I'm really sad. Like, didn't engage in that aspect of the conversation at all. And I get if you feel like he might not pick you, maybe you don't want to talk about your feelings, maybe you don't feel safe talking about your feelings, but the way he's talking is very much like you're the one, you know, like I'm ready to get married to you, I want you, I'm in love with you. So the response is just a little bit odd.
I already knew, and then it was just confirmed today.
You're on a show where you're speed dating people, not speed dating, but you're like dating people, you're dating around to get married to someone. So of course they're gonna have multiple people that they're talking to. It would be different if like you guys are engaged, you're about to go into the next portion of the experiment, but you have not even talked about getting engaged at this point. So of course he still has other people that he's talking to, just kind of like how you should if you feel like you want to talk to other people. I get being sad, especially if she's like really into him, but you kind of came in knowing that this might happen or probably would happen.
I swear to God, you're like both number one. Like
We're both number one.
Yes.
She really wanted him to say after this conversation where you've been vulnerable with me, you're my number one now. She really wanted him to say that, and he just didn't.
Totally see myself like being married to you and like being engaged to you and like having such a fucking amazing life.
Hello.
Fuck.
People were telling you to end it with me, and that's what you listen to?
I understand 1,000,000,000% why she made the decision that she made in the last episode. I do feel a little bit like the decision was based on what other people were telling her. They were telling her that he's not into her, all of that, and that he's just a player. And I can understand why that got in her head, but I also feel like there's a little bit of gut instinct, and she's incentivized to make a leap regardless of what her gut is telling her. I can't get a read on him. He's such an interesting person. He's like, from everything that she has said to him, he is gonna have an idea of what she looks like, and I'll be interested to see how that goes.
It's exactly what you said, like, we're twin flames, I think. Like,
I'm not saying that he's lying in either interaction. How do you have the space to, like, feel like two people are perfect for you at the same time? You know, like, I struggle with one relationship. I can't imagine having this twin flame connection to both of them. I also don't necessarily feel in between the two of them. A couple that I cried over in the first one, I felt like I really felt their connection. And I just don't really feel it between these two. I feel like they would be friends.
Hello, hello.
How are you? Oh my god. Look at this.
Look at this. So when are you asking me to be your girlfriend?
You can't see this, but I'm like kicking my feet. I like them. I love them. I love them. I love them so much. They're just... One of the most awkward things for me about the show is always the first meeting, because you can just tell usually when people are not feeling each other physically, but I just feel like they're gonna like each other. Like them and the other couple that I really liked from the first season, or from the first episode, I have a feeling they're gonna see each other and just, like, be in awe, which I'm so excited for.
I read for a little bit and then went to bed.
Wait,
What are you reading?
I was literally about to say I read for a little bit and then I went to bed.
Twinsies.
What are you reading?
I'm reading like this kind of nerdy book. Alright, give me a second.
Okay, now take your time.
It was like I really like touched me that I know I had a choice, I didn't have to go, but internally I had no choice.
Okay, I have three couples that I'm in love with. And I know they're not all gonna make it, and I want them to so desperately.
I get to give my parents one more daughter.
Aww.
I love that. I love that so much. And I can already see our lives coming together in a lot of ways.
They just, like, dump the most traumatic shit on you. I know that's, like, obviously these people are trying to get married and, like, this is important stuff. Like, the backstory is really important, but they just, like, take all the moments where they're crying and just, like, dump it on you, and it's...
And I'm so excited.
Taylor, I love everything. Will you marry me?
And I voted for Biden, and I can honestly say I definitely put a lot more thought.
It is so interesting how the landscape of reality TV and dating shows has changed over the years. I think, in general, people are expected to proclaim their interests, who they voted for, what political party they align with, all of that kind of stuff, where you stand in these big national and global situations. And it's so interesting to me how that has changed the way that people show up in reality dating shows, how the conversations that they have, what they air on the TV, because obviously we don't know truly what couples talk about all the time that they're there, but now editors have started to add in these conversations, and I just think that kind of transparency is such an interesting and very needed change, because these are major things, like major compatibility things that you, like, should know and talk through with your partner, and it's good to see those open dialogues happening on screen.
hello? Oh, food.
Oh, yay!
Same.
I'm going home tonight with it.
Shit.
It's fun.
I really love you. I want you to know you're safe and you're protected. No matter what happens here, I'm going to always have you.
Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
Won't matter what she looks like.
Just show me the introduction! Oh, bitch! I have to see.
You marry me.
Okay. Okay, I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I need to take a break. Okay, please excuse my cat. It has been several weeks since I did an episode of this, so we're just gonna jump right in. And this is also a new setup, so filming setup. So hopefully it goes the way that I want it to. We'll see. But let's just get right into it. I stopped a couple of minutes into episode 3.
Scary, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's scary.
Okay, this is the big issue that I have with the show. And it's the issue that I had in the only other season that I've watched of this, which is, I guess I've watched 2 seasons, but I don't like how some conversations seem very in-depth and all about trauma and bonding and all of that kind of stuff. And then other relationships, there's nothing there. There's no substance. They're not getting into anything. I'm sure all of these couples talk about their desires and their dreams and all that kind of stuff with each other, and we just don't see it based on editing. But I don't like that because it makes me like other relationships over others. I root for the ones that are like, that feel more genuine. And then the ones they don't talk about deep stuff, I'm like, I don't care whether they make it or not.
Dream about true love.
Oh.
So proud. Tyler.
I said I was okay with that. She cut me out.
When I'm pinned against other women, it's just like, oh, here we go again. I'm like, not the only person they're dating.
This is the most vulnerable we've seen her in the series, and I really appreciate this because we have seen other women that look like her that had the exact opposite personality and opinion, and the exact opposite way of acting towards other women, and I really appreciate that we're seeing a side of her that we didn't necessarily maybe think was there or know was there. Like, I get the women who come on to reality TV shows and they play like the villain character. I get for their career and all of that kind of stuff why that happens, but I find especially with really small and beautiful and blonde women, they play a certain character and they get perceived and played a certain way, and I appreciate that that is not how she's being edited or shown or how she feels like she has to act or is, just normally. I don't like him. I don't know. There's something about him that he just doesn't seem genuine. When he talks, it reminds me of salesmen who have been taught to repeat back what they're hearing from someone, or people who have been trained in talking and, I don't want to say manipulation in like a negative way, but people who have been taught to talk in a way that will get them their way, because anytime she says something that is a little bit confrontational or just like expressing how she feels, he's like, I hear that, this is what you're telling me. And it just like, I don't know if it's his attempt to like buy himself more time to process or to create a sense of connection between the two to make the person on the opposite side of the conversation feel seen and heard. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel natural. The conversations with him just never flow in a natural way, and I don't feel like it's nervousness necessarily. It just, I don't know, there's just something about him that I just like, I don't know.
Here's my advice for you, Brittany. As difficult as this is going to be, wait a teeny tiny bit longer, because I need to have one final conversation with my other connection. And
why are you giving her advice? I need a second to like come back into myself, because I just got so incredibly triggered by that response. Because the entire show, she has been hard stuck on an insecurity of hers being her weight and the way that she looks, and someone not accepting her weight. She started the conversation off talking about something that is very emotional, like finances, him quitting football, all that kind of stuff. And she shares something that is very clearly emotional for her. And he laughs. She laughs and she's like, "That's not funny." And then he's like, "But you're laughing." There's like a well-known thing, I guess, in like the fat community. I was fat my whole life growing up. Very similar experiences to her. There's this thing where it's like you laugh at yourself before they can laugh at you. And so your weight and the way that you look becomes a joke for other people. And you do it so that you don't feel like you're getting made fun of. Like, you make the joke so that they don't have to. And then it eliminates the, like, uncomfortable feeling. You don't want other people to feel uncomfortable. And you also don't want to put yourself in a situation where people are making fun of you, so you do it first. And that is the perfect example of a terrible reaction where her insecurities just got flipped on, just like that. And I don't like the other guy, but that reaction is what she needed, where he was like, "Wow, that's really tough. I hear you," and reaffirmed for her that it is not about her weight for him, regardless of, he doesn't care. And then for her to bring up almost the exact same scenario, the exact same, obviously traumatic instance, and for him to laugh about it and be like, "Oh, look up the fruit roll-ups from Hannah." Like, wow. All of those insecurities, all of those issues that she has are just gonna get, it's just gonna become a cycle. They're just gonna keep getting triggered over and over and over again. Eventually they're gonna get to the point where every single conversation that they have, every single doubt that she has, every insecurity that she has, are just gonna keep festering and keep triggering. And then she's gonna blow up over seemingly nothing, and it's just gonna keep happening. I'm so... Oh, God.
Some of the things I can say can be misconstrued and taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for making those jokes, too.
No. It wasn't misconstrued. It wasn't taken the wrong way. You said them. You meant them. You were asking women about bikinis. There's no way to misconstrue. Oh, God.
Oh, I am.
I think he's stuck on not being Hannah's only and or number one, and he wants to know why he's not.
What would you say if I asked?
I'm speechless right now.
Ask you to marry me right now.
This is like too much.
I don't like the way he's dealing with this. I don't.
Give me an answer. Like, I'm just tortured sitting over here, like, not knowing if I have a chance with you or if I don't.
I do not. No, this is so unsettling. This behavior is so unsettling. Oh my God. I'm like,
please, Hannah, can you tell me, does part of you feel you couldn't handle this uncertainty for another day? And maybe I'm not special enough?
I don't know how much of this reaction and all this is edited and, how snappy the conversation is, because it feels very aggressive. I don't know how much of that is editing, but I don't like this conversation at all. I do not like his reaction.
I mean that. He probably does. Is he the best person for you, or is he just the first person to tell you I love you?
No.
We're not the kind of people that give validation easily. I'm gonna guess that he probably offered the validation before, and it probably felt really good. It feels really good to hear it from my connection.
Okay. He's manipulative. Yeah, he's manipulative. He talks to each woman the way that he knows they will respond best. And I said earlier, in that conversation that he was having, I don't know if he's doing this as a manipulation tactic or what, but he understands how to talk to people. Like, and he knows how to manipulate it, because you can see how different the way that he talks to people is just between these two. Like, just in the difference between the other woman and Hannah. Like, you can see with Hannah, he's being very aggressive, very, like, almost belittling to her. With the other woman, he was very, like, sweet and quiet and kind of like treating her like fine china. Whereas with Hannah, he's...
But if we can get there...
I have not been able to stop thinking about you.
Wow! What? Wait! What? Wait! Where did that come from? With the other people, it's like 10 minutes of, like, declaring their love, and then they finally do it. But that was just like...
thought Leo was wonderful. I never want to be manipulated, and that's kind of what I felt like he was doing to me.
Very happy that she saw through that.
We're not compatible.
What?
Everything is better for you.
And I know that.
It's true.
I've known that this whole
What?
entire time. He's my person, you know?
That's exactly how I feel about Brittany.
What?
You know what you want.
Oh my god.
There's one thing I would ask you to do for me, is I would like beg you to tell Brittany that, like, it really was mutual and I really genuinely care for her, and I'm honestly...
I thought Nick sucked. But God, is that his name, Nick? The other guy. I thought he sucked, but that dude fucking sucks. Oh my God. I need like a second to like decompress from that so that I can enjoy this beautiful moment between this couple that I absolutely adore. Because what the actual fuck?
Safe and warm.
Oh.
Allow you to bring out.
He like ate her face. I've always wondered like if they like the way each other looks and then they kiss and it's just like...
Everything that happened, I would say.
She's so sweet. I feel like she's so sweet and genuine, and Okay, after a very quick donut break in which I pet my cat and got hair all over my face, but not my donut. My donut was delicious. We're just gonna get right back into it.
Will you marry me?
She's gonna say yes, and I'm She is not into him at all. You can tell by her body language, she is not.
That this experiment is that it absolutely works. Okay, I'm just literally, all I want is my fiance, and
I don't believe you.
know what she looks like.
I don't believe you! I don't believe you! He is so aggro. In regards to the last couple, Leo and Brittany was her name. This is like Brittany, if you know you care a lot about the way someone looks, like we all care about the way someone looks, right? Like we want to be physically attracted to our significant other. But I think some of us care a lot more than others do. And if you are someone that really intensely cares about the way someone looks, I don't understand why you would come on a show like this.
I'm in love! Sorry.
She's so bubbly. It's so cute. I love. You can tell that all of these couples want to get like romantic and be in the mood, but the fact that there's cameras on them, they just feel so weird about it. I can't tell if their little tiffs are gonna escalate.
I don't feel it at all.
They have the sort of relationship where she doesn't like anything that he does, and I don't know if that's like a flirting thing or if it's like their personalities just don't work, but I can feel that like everything that he does irritates her. Okay, my prediction is that Nick is going to say something about one of the other women and it's going to make Hannah jealous. Because nobody else really had, like, things for each other, so I can't really see there being a ton of drama other than that.
And there's like a list of like 10 bullet points on a note card of what she's questioning. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Like, this isn't just one.
Yeah, right.
That is fucked up.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I need around you. Like, I fucking love you so much.
Just because someone gets you doesn't mean that you get to do hurtful things and then be like, well, I just love you so much that I just get to be the real me. Objectively, writing down 8 things that you don't like about your partner and then leaving it out for them to find is fucked up. It's also fucked up for him to dismiss her feelings if she felt jealous or she felt disrespected in that moment. That's how she felt. She's allowed to feel that way. They can talk about it, whatever. But leaving a note like that out in the open for him to see is horrible. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to do.
Want to sit down?
Yeah, you want to outside or?
Yeah, the couch is fine.
Okay.
Wait. They stayed in separate rooms?
So.
What the fuck happened? You have cameras following them 24/7. You literally have cameras in the corners of their bedrooms. And you missed a big fight? Like, I'm not saying that they should have those televised fights, right? But they're on a reality show. This is like why they're here. She's starting to not like him.
I'm living together in the real world.
Is this really living together in the real world when it's not their own apartments and they're not having to pay the bills and stuff?
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
I actually kind of hate the parent meeting because I don't care. Like, their family is going to be skeptical, but ultimately they're either going to get married or they're not. I'm just going to go ahead and skip that.
That's where I stand.
Everybody has their own things, their own lines that they are not willing to cross, their own things that they're not willing to support, and they're not willing to find in a partner, and that is a big one, and it's big for both of them. Like, obviously, he has his own moral standpoint on it, and she does as well, and there's not anything that can really change that. I think if that is like a hard line for you, then there's no point in continuing. If that's like at your core who you are, it's going to be hard to reconcile that, and it's going to be even harder to try to compromise and suppress that because it's going to make you feel a dissonance within yourself. So, that's tough. I do, however, feel like if he had an issue with that and it was such a large part of her life, that should have been something that they discussed in the pods. But, yeah. Alright, I will finish the rest of the episodes another day, so we will be back. Jump scare. I have black hair now. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just get into it.
Like, if you had friends, like, walking around like MAGA ads, I wouldn't, like, immediately cut them off.
I think it's interesting to say that someone in the military is also, like, a MAGA supporter. I don't necessarily agree. I think there's a lot more nuance to being in the military than that. There are people that are in the military in all walks of life for very different reasons. I come from a military family. Every man in my family has been in the military, retired from the military, like, lifelong careers. I don't agree with the military necessarily, but I support the people that go in for their own reasons. I definitely think there's issues with the military, and there's a lot of issues, but I also understand people who go in, and I understand people who are proud of their service. And I don't necessarily think that just because you were in the military or you're proud of your service in the military that you are, like, a MAGA supporter. I don't know. I just don't conflate the two things. He has said things like this numerous times. Like, earlier, a couple of episodes ago, he was talking about how once you're on a show like this, gold diggers are going to come around and try to take your money and just, like, weird stuff like that. And now he said this, and it just, like,
Get married, are your parents still going to be paying certain of your bills, or are you joining them with me?
there's various points in their relationship where you could see the immaturity of both of them. This is definitely an immaturity on his end, And it's always weird to see this in relationships because especially with like cleaning and chores and stuff, I think it's intensely personal to each relationship and like what feels equal to you. What I have learned in my 10 years with my partner, I like X, Y, and Z to be done before I go to bed. My partner might not think about that. So I can't have expectations that he'll see and want to do the same things that I see and want to handle. If the important part is, I say, hey, can you do this for me? Is there argument? Is there an understanding between you two? Is there a resistance to doing the chores? Or is it one of those things where it's like, hey, can you do this? They never thought about it before. They never did it before. You're like, hey, can you do this to take it off my plate? They're like, yeah, sure. Or do they fight back on it? I think that's what's important. But you're never going to have two people that think the exact same way. And being like her and expecting him to do these things can be very frustrating on her end. So I think it's important early on to have these conversations, but it's also important for her to set her expectations against his actual behavior. And you can't get mad that like, you didn't take out the trash until I asked you to. That's a problem, and it's going to continue to build up and build up and build up in the relationship, and it's going to create resentment when you could have just had a couple conversations here and there. Because like I said, everybody processes these things differently. Same with finances. I think it's good that she was like, hey, I care about finances way more than you do, because that could end up happening in a relationship. So let's figure this out and let me handle it. Which, again, if you have a partner that doesn't really care about finances, you're more of the future forward person, you're more about this financial security, and your partner just isn't money minded like that, I think having that conversation is good and not expecting them to change who they are. Now, obviously, if they're like getting into debt and spending money they don't have and stuff like that, obviously that's a different issue. But stuff like this of like, how are we going to manage our finances together? It's a really important conversation that I think we never really see this early on. We never see couples having this conversation. And it's interesting to me that the immature couple is the one having this conversation, at least on camera.
I don't know anything. I mean, I just never invested in stocks.
My partner trades. So I probably have a above average knowledge of the stock market that a lot of like people that just have a 401k or whatever, it's like set it and forget it situation. I probably have a little bit more understanding, but the like tone of this, again, just immature communication between the two of them for sure. Her then being like, well, I'm not stupid, is very condescending to him. So I think this is a very immature, young relationship. And I'm not saying that they can't work through their issues, because they sure can. And I think these are very common issues that people with attachment wounds get into when they go into relationships. But it'll be all about how they handle it and how they communicate about it. Another fight they didn't catch. Why is he still there? Oh, they must all be in the same building.
Texted me.
We were doing it today, Steven. We texted for today.
And the really gross ones were today. So don't fucking lie to my face.
Were you guys texting today?
No.
You weren't texting today. Okay, let me see your phone.
I deleted the message.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because I didn't want to look at it either.
They started yesterday and they went through today.
Is he looking for pasta in the fridge?
No, it's in the cabinet.
Heat to boil. Do you know how to heat to a boil?
Does he not know how to boil water?
Then I woke up, saw the laundry in the bed for me to pull it from there.
That's what happens when you're unemployed, right?
Oh!
It can't be me too. It's just you.
It's not like if I wear one, it's just not.
We can raw dog it.
If you are not willing to wear a condom, you should not expect the woman to get on birth control. You are responsible for your sexual health. She is responsible for hers. You have to deal with the outcome of your decisions. So if she decides that she's not going to have birth control, and you decide you're not going to have a condom, you're going to get pregnant. You cannot force her to go on birth control because you don't want to wear condoms. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, well, here's the pressure. I'm not going to go on birth control.
There you go.
Oh, let's hug and pretend like nothing happened. Like, for me, this is not that. And this is a big thing.
Another argument!
What are their genders?
2 girls and a boy.
He hid 3 kids from her?
Now that's what, 3 extra kids? Like, it's wild. The guy who has 3 sperm babies.
Don't know that I personally would care, so I can't relate to the, like, I don't know that I would care that he's donated his sperm so, like, a couple could have children.
It's not so much like doubt, it's a big decision. Like, if I get married, like, that's it. Like, I'm not, it's like, I want you, like, I don't want to, like, sit here and, like, go through this again.
I'm so confused about what is happening, because she's saying, oh, I'm sick, but you're trying to see something, and I just don't... What?
I just want to make sure it's 100, you know, like, it's that there's no, like, especially something as big as, like, physical intimacy, like, I just want to make sure that that's right, you know?
So because she doesn't want to have sex?
There's been, like, just maybe 3 times where I'm like, lay off on petting me or whatever.
So it sounds like their intimate relationship is not quite what it was when they were on vacation, because she's working and she's sick and it sounds like it's period time and, like, there's stuff going on, and I'm just confused how that possibly puts the relationship in a precarious place. I'm just confused.
Sometimes I feel like, you know, you do think I'm
below you.
Maybe sometimes, like, a level below you. You know what I mean? I just want to be treated as an equal.
I think you get treated like an equal when you start contributing like an equal.
Oh my god! She is mean. You don't get to just say whatever you want to someone and say, like, oh, I love you, so I can say this, or I'm doing this to better you, or this is about my future. That's not how this works. You're in a relationship with another person that you say that you love, that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you want to treat him like that?
I mean, I would rather talk to you intently, yes.
Another argument.
I'm gonna ask you to do the dishes. I'm probably just gonna do them. Maybe I didn't communicate that, sure. However, if I have to communicate that, I'm not the one for you.
What? Yeah. Don't get married. If that is your stance, don't get married.
I'm glad we can at least agree that I don't ever want to see you again.
What is happening? Why? What did we? What?
Just know that, like, I really like talking to you.
I think you leave.
This conversation isn't necessarily, like, it's, I can tell that with her, she's, like, moved past it, and she, like, almost saw that he was immature, and immediately he just, like, unchecked from her mind. She's talking to him, like, teaching him a lesson, and that's not flirty, which I appreciate the way this conversation is going, because we've seen how other conversations between people who were, like, really into each other in the pods that didn't end up together, we've seen how their conversations go. So, I appreciate how she's maintaining the conversation. I don't necessarily know that he wouldn't push a little bit, but she's kind of keeping it, like...
To, you know, change for you.
So you're trying to change your flirtation for me?
I'm trying to change my personality for you, yes.
So by me asking you not to flirt
Oh, oh no, Nikki Poo, no. The beginning of the show, I did not like Nick, and things have really switched for me. I think he's just an immature guy, and he's never been forced to grow up, and he's never had a serious relationship. Oh, yeah, she's,
changing your routine and what you're used to doing to be in a relationship instead of being single.
What her friend said is correct. None of the things that he listed are changing his personality, but she's asking him to change his personality. Like, she's asking him to be a completely different person. And when he's not what she wants him to be, she demeans him, and she calls him immature, and lists a bunch of reasons why she doesn't like him. And it just, like...
It's really not. It's really simple, easy things.
Do not like this dynamic right here of her friends just like reinforcing all of the shit that she has said to him. He's expressing like very valid concerns about how I think that I'm having to change who I am to fit her because she doesn't like who I am. And I'm willing to do, he keeps saying I'm willing to do those things. And they think it's just him like not wanting to have responsibilities and do chores. And it's like clearly not that way for him. He clearly means something else. And they're just like reinforcing all of the shit. I don't know if I am having like, I feel, this is making me feel crazy. Like just watching this happen is making me feel crazy. So I cannot imagine what it's making him feel like. I feel like I'm perceiving this differently than everybody else. And I don't know why. I feel like there's just, please let me know if you also have felt similarly, because I just don't, something about this just is not sitting right with me.
Delusional. Social awareness.
Maturity, confidence versus something.
Maturity and confidence versus ego. Those 5 concerns that I have are still there. They never went away. Ever. Because you just kept repeating the same exact actions.
I'm just gonna let it play.
Social awareness, I do not see. Respect, you have none. Ego versus confidence, I feel like I need to stroke your ego for you to be happy. And I feel like you extremely say that you're a confident person and I make you unconfident, when I think it's just ego. And it's delusion. It's just like, you just can't see how I feel.
Girl. What? Oh my God. I just end it, please, for the love of God. I'm so tired of listening. I'm so tired of listening to her constantly demean him and tell him that he's immature, he's delusional. The things that she says to him, are horrible. And she puts herself above him in every single conversation that they have, and he never understands anything that she's saying, and he's constantly changing who he is and checking with her and like responding to her. And she doesn't see any of it. And then she blames him and says that it's his fault that he's not catering to her needs. And it's like, oh my God.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Usually I hate apologies that say that, because it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that my actions are having this, evoking this feeling in you, rather than I'm sorry for my actions. But yes, I agree with it in this instance. I'm sorry you feel that way, because it's not true.
For instance, like the Katie situation, for example, because I can use specific examples. I don't know if you can, but I can. And because I remember things I know you don't.
Oh my God, what?
You're always demeaning, you're always talking down on me. We're not equals here. It doesn't feel that way at all. You think I can't take care of myself for some reason? You think I can't take care of you? I can't take care of anything?
What are your responsibilities in life?
Payments. You constantly bash me and say I'm turning you from a boy to a man. This is just you being kind of like hard on me.
This is not hard. This is not. You want me to push you to be better, right? This is not this. That's not what she's trying to do.
Sit here and come up with a notebook full of notes and bash you?
Exactly. Is that what you think I'm doing, is bashing you?
Yes. It's a little too much, to be honest with you.
Do you know why I do this?
So you can get your thoughts on paper and you don't forget them.
Do you know why I do this? So that I can make... Oh my God.
I want to make sure if this is the last conversation that we ever have, I would like to be able to get all my feelings out. And I have been trying, and I have been trying, and I have been trying.
If you want to keep notes of things that you've thought about, that you want to talk about so that you can keep your thoughts straight, that's fine. But it's different when you're writing it down, for one, for him to find, and for two, where it's literally just like, you're a piece of shit, you have no responsibility, you're immature, you're delusional, all of these things. They have had a fight almost every single episode, and obviously we have zero idea what their relationship is like behind the scenes, but from the way that from the way that their arguments have gone, I don't believe for a second that he is the manipulative one. Has every couple but one broken up? I think they have, right? They're the last ones left?
I commit to building a future filled with laughter, understanding, and joy. As we embark on this journey together, I pledge my heart, my loyalty, and my deepest love to you. I promise to love you, keep God at the center of our lives, and continue to keep taking these leaps of faith with you.
It's just the start of the rest of our lives. That's the beautiful thing about it. We're just getting started, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm happy.
Next episode is the Love is Blind reunion. I'm not going to be doing that now. If you are interested in me doing the Love is Blind reunion for this season, definitely let me know down in the comments. But this is it for this season. I am very happy with the couples that ended up together and very happy with the couples that didn't. I'm very happy that Hannah and Nick did not end up together. I am very surprised by the Steven and whatever the woman's name was, by their breaking up. I also didn't really like him, but like I found some of the things that he said to be a little bit weird, but I didn't foresee them breaking up. So anyways, I'm very, very happy that my two favorite couples ended up together, and I liked the way that the season went. I definitely think it's a little bit drawn out. They definitely could have cut it down like 2 episodes, but regardless, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you want to see another video like this from me. Let's just talk down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're looking for more videos like this. Check out my backlist if you're interested in stuff from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.